Hi, I'm Jeff Murrow. I want to welcome you to True Texas History. I'm glad you tuned in today. And now, today, I'm going to cover how Santa Anna saved Texas from socialism. I know that's probably a title that some of you are scratching your heads wondering, hey, what? I've never heard of anything like that. Well, many times people haven't, mainly because they haven't studied their history and they have not taken a hard look at things. One of those things that they haven't looked at is the episode of Santa Anna and the socialist Robert Owen. Now, Robert Owen is a name that not everyone is familiar with. Some people are. One of his big claims to fame is that he had the first communist commune in America at New Harmony, Indiana. And Robert Owen's social experiment, failed terribly. It didn't succeed at all. Now, prior to New Harmony, he had a success at New Lanark in Scotland. And after his success in Scotland, he wanted things to work out, and he bombed out in Indiana, and he wanted to try again. And the place that he wanted to try it was Texas. And the whole episode occurred through a series of correspondences where Robert Owen began writing to Santa Anna, of all people, in the days immediately after Mexico won its independence. And in these correspondence, Robert Owens, in what he called the Texas Project, sought to purchase Texas from Mexico for the sole intent of setting up a socialist community. He was bound and determined to do this. Now, Robert Owen's ideas, not only did he have a lot of communist ideas, he was also one that believed that all of mankind's problems went back to a religion. Let me read you a quote. Now, when the effects of religion, as it has been hitherto taught and impressed upon the human race, should be followed through all the ramification, it will be discovered that religion of the world is the sole cause of all the disunion, hatred, uncharitableness, and crime which pervade the population of the earth. This was his attitude. Now, fortunately, Santa Anna had his wits about him, and Santa Anna at that time was very much committed to Texas remaining under the influence of Mexico, and with that, the Catholicism that comes with it. And he stood firm, and he denied Robert Owen his desire to have Texas just as a little socialist experiment. Now, Robert Owen was not one that remained content, and this was not his last influence on Texas. He went on. Now, his son, Robert Dale Owen, was very involved with the effort at not annexing Texas when we had negotiated our relationship with the United States, and took some strong stands there. Strangely as it sounds, you had Robert Dale Owen giving testimony in conferences to Congress. Now think about that. Why would you have a socialist actively presenting classes to the congressman and educating them on this? It doesn't make sense. And of course, this also tells me this is not, because nowadays in 2022, we look around and say, what do we do with all these socialists? Well, this isn't the first time the socialists have gotten into Congress and have tried to do things. They did that with the Owens years ago. Now, after Robert Owen had failed in taking Texas, not only was his son at work concerning Texas, one of his associates, a fellow by the name of Etienne Cabot, had the Icarian movement. And this was another socialist movement, and Robert Owen was coaching him on where to settle in Texas. He considered the northeast quadrant of Texas the ideal place for any kind of socialist commune, and he was trying to get Etienne Cabot to go ahead and set up a commune. And he did come here as a colonist, and some of his followers did go ahead and set up. Now, it didn't take Texas over and Texas become a socialist state, but we did have our own little forays with socialism in the form of Etienne Cabot, Robert Owens, and of course later the 48ers that arrived and brought many socialist ideas to Texas. But Santa Anna fortunately stood firm, otherwise Texas would be another socialist experiment that failed. I hope you enjoyed this today. I welcome comments and thumbs up. That's always a good thing. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below and I'll get to them. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, this is Jeff Murrah wishing you vaya con Dios, my friend. Goodbye.